At 4:43 p.m. on August 8, 2024, a magnitude 7.1 earthquake struck off the coast of Miyazaki Prefecture in Kyushu, Japan. A magnitude of 7.1 is by no means small. Do you remember the magnitude 5.8 Virginia earthquake that shook the U.S. East Coast in August 2011? It shook Washington, D.C., causing an estimated $200 to $300 million in damage. This Japanese quake was nearly 90 times more powerful than that one. It's no secret that Japan is one of the most earthquake-prone countries in the world. Every year, people there experience numerous earthquakes stronger than magnitude 6. Because earthquakes strike so often, Japan is also known for its rigorous earthquake preparedness. Thanks to those measures, this magnitude 7.1 quake caused no deaths and left only 13 people injured. However, after this earthquake, the Japanese government issued a nationwide emergency alert for the first time in its history. That's because scientists have warned that a catastrophic once-in-a-century megaquake, the Nankai earthquake, could be on its way. With an uneasy atmosphere hanging over the Japanese archipelago, what exactly is happening in the Nankai Trough? Japan lies in a very precarious location. It's right where four massive tectonic plates meet: the Eurasian Plate, the North American Plate, the Philippine Sea Plate, and the Pacific Plate. Driven by convection from the heat inside Earth, these plates are never still. They're constantly on the move. As they move, it's only natural that they frequently collide with one another. The various forces and jolts that occur in those collisions are what we feel as earthquakes. For this reason, most major earthquakes occur along the boundaries where tectonic plates meet. As we've just seen, Japan sits at the junction of four of these plates, so frequent earthquakes are practically unavoidable. Among these boundaries, the one we're focusing on here is the line between the Eurasian Plate and the Philippine Sea Plate, known as the Nankai Trough. It's a giant submarine trench, about 900 kilometers long, formed as the Philippine Sea Plate dives beneath the Eurasian Plate. The Philippine Sea Plate is constantly being pushed under the Eurasian Plate at a rate of a few centimeters per year. That word "constantly" is important here. As the two plates grind and press against each other, an enormous amount of stress builds up. But that built-up energy has nowhere to go. Eventually, the accumulated stress becomes so great that the fault suddenly snaps and the plates lurch past each other. The massive shock waves released at that moment are what we call a megaquake. In recorded history, the Nankai region has been struck by such megaquakes roughly every 100 to 150 years, and each one has inflicted catastrophic damage on Japan. The last megaquake on the Nankai Trough struck in 1946, the Showa Nankai earthquake. It dealt a devastating blow to a nation, already exhausted and in ruins after losing World War II. Nearly 80 years have passed since then, and the Nankai Trough has remained ominously quiet. But the Japanese government and geologists around the world know exactly what this silence means. It's the calm before the storm. Back on August 8, 2024, when a magnitude 7.1 earthquake hit the edge of the Nankai Trough, many geologists must have had the same thought. The inevitable might finally be here. For roughly 80 years, the Nankai Trough has been steadily accumulating stress. This latest quake could be the catalyst that releases the built-up energy, like popping the cap on a soda bottle you've just shaken up, or nudging a Jenga tower that's barely holding together. If that happens, the damage could far surpass even the Great East Japan earthquake, the largest disaster Japan has experienced in recent memory. That's because the expected epicenter lies closer to Japan's densely populated western and southern regions, and such a quake would almost certainly unleash a massive tsunami. According to Japanese government estimates, a full-scale Nankai megaquake could kill around 230,000 people, destroy about 2 million buildings, and in the worst case, might even trigger a chain eruption of Mount Fuji, as is thought to have happened after the 1707 Nankai and Hoei earthquakes. Because the government has been modeling all of these risks and scenarios, it issued a temporary advisory called Nankai Trough Earthquake Extra Information as soon as the magnitude 7.1 quake struck. Roughly 20 aftershocks followed, but fortunately the feared Nankai megaquake did not occur. About a week later, on August 15th, that temporary advisory was lifted. Some have argued that, since no megaquake actually happened, the government overreacted with that advisory and merely amplified public anxiety for nothing. In hindsight, that criticism isn't entirely unreasonable, but we shouldn't focus only on how this one episode ended. We need to look at the deeper, unchanging reality behind it. When the annual probability of a quake is put at something like 0.1% or 0.5%, that doesn't mean it won't happen. It means we have no idea when it will happen. And when scientists say there is a 70 to 80% chance of it happening within 30 years, that means we've already entered the window where a Nankai Megaquake could strike at virtually any time. Ironically, some in the government might almost have preferred the Nankai Megaquake to happen this time, because even at this very moment, the Nankai Trough is continuously accumulating enormous amounts of stress. The fact that it didn't rupture this time means that someday a quake will strike after even more energy has accumulated, and when it does, there may be no clear warning signs at all. That is the truly terrifying part. A disaster that strikes without warning wouldn't just leave scars on Japan, it would send shockwaves across the entire Pacific. We saw that in March 2011, when the Great East Japan earthquake sent a tsunami all the way to Hawaii and the US West Coast, damaging harbors and coastal towns. I hope this latest earthquake serves as a wake-up call for all of us, and that by preparing for the massive shock that will one day come, we can all help to minimize the damage when it finally hits.